विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। A former psychologist from Australia, Swamini Supriyananda, was looking for a better reason for being on earth. She says, I was searching for meaning, a deeper purpose for my existence. I felt there had to be more than just a job, physical possessions and the images we all portray. It was when she came across the teaching of Swami Chinmayananda that she hit a home run. From 1998 to 2000, she studied in the 11th Vedanta course at Powai and since 2000 committed herself to a life of service. She is the Acharya of Chinmaya Mission in Hong Kong and she is immensely popular, especially with the children and youth. Her honest and contemporary views have made her a favorite amongst the youth who have learned to apply traditional values to their modern lives only to achieve the ultimate balance in life. She is also the author of the famous children's series of books, Chinmaya Bal Katha, with bestsellers like Krishna Rocks, Ganesha Goes to Party, Shiva's Fish Wish, Little Yes, Has Lost His Smile, etc. She has more than 10 books to her credit. She is also a playwright and has written, directed the play Drop It. She has initiated the Shishuvihar movement for toddlers and Pujya Guruji Swami Tejomayanandji has formally declared this wing as the grassroots activity of Chinmaya Mission before Balvihar. She has also made systematic syllabus and material for the age group of 2 to 4 years. We are very fortunate that she is here with us today and will be training us in Shishuvihar. I will request new people to please fill up the spare moment slip to kept on your chairs. And now I will invite Vishakhaben Nanavati to hand over the flower bouquet to Swaminiji. So now, without wasting any time, I will hand over mic to Swaminiji.
Before we start, just for me to get to know you all better, how many of you teach Balvihar? How many of you are here as parents to learn more about So you're okay. Okay. I don't know if I initiated Shishuvihar, but it seems to be in Gurudev's vision that it had to have happened. And a few people all over the world, somehow this idea has manifested, and slowly it has created into a formal structure. And I have been joyfully working on it. So very, very happy to share with you all. So firstly, I'll just introduce the concept of Shishuvihar. So Balvihar, you'll already know, is for children. And then Pujya Gurudev has given the motto of keep smiling to be able to teach them the values in our culture. Guruji has also given the motto for them to shine like the sun and to light like the moon. And Balvihar has become such a powerful movement, and a little bit sad that it's far more appreciated outside of India than it is in India. And I think sometimes people feel in India it will just happen through osmosis, so it's there in our culture, we don't need to. But so many times I have seen that the kids from Hong Kong or London or Australia, when they come to India and they visit their cousins, then they actually know much more now because they're being attending regularly the Balvihar, and the Balvihar it's taken over from, I think what Gurudev would say, the grandparents' teaching, because the structure of the households have changed, the structure of the way the families interact have changed. And before, the nani or the dadi would have the kid on the lap and keep talking, telling so many stories while the mother was busy. And today that has changed now, so it doesn't happen as often. And so the classes are really to introduce a way that the culture gets maintained and caught, even though the structure of the way the society and the family has changed. So one of the things I noticed in Hong Kong, and probably it's a global phenomenon, is that we get the kids because parents are very keen to bring their kids and give them the culture, but we lose them around the age of 12. Not all, of course we can keep some, but very often around the age of 12 is where, of course, adolescence also kicks in, school pressure also kicks in, peer pressure also kicks in. So you've got this transition phase, and then this is where parents can't say you have to, and so we tend to start losing the kids. And so very quickly I had thought that the more we're able to give them at a younger age, at least it's there. It's like, you put it all in and then, okay, now I can't do it. And we had started off with a budget class. So whoever wanted to come with their parents, and so that they can learn. And I noticed that more and more younger kids were coming to the bhajan class, as young as age 2. And so that caught my attention and thought, so mothers were very keen, especially in those very tender years. Mothers are so excited to have the kid have the very best. And to have that, the security of our culture of God, of faith. And I'm sure here as well as everywhere else, there's this movement towards play groups. I'm sure you'll have them here as well. So a group of moms will get together and they'll, with their kids, and they'll do, sometimes it can be yoga. I've seen them do even yoga. They'll do making cookies. They'll have an outing to the zoo. They'll have even a getting dressed party, and they all get dressed as animals, so they all get dressed as pixies and fairies. So, thinking of that, if they're already doing this, then why can't they have a group where the mothers come in and they start learning our culture? Because even though they can't respond, they're really sponges. They really take in a lot. And then also with those families that are close to the mission, where the mothers are very hands-on and very keen to have the culture, I've noticed that the mom will sing the Hanuman Chalisa to the baby, literally a baby. And by the time they learn to speak, of course the Hanuman Chalisa is long, but they finish it. So we say Shri Guru Charana Saroja, and the 2-year-old will say Raj. Now they're not able to say the whole sentence, but they're able to complete the sentence, which already means they grasp it. So slowly we introduced a formal structure where the mother comes in with the child, and the teacher will conduct like a playgroup style class. But we brought in all the elements that Gurudev gave us in Balvihar. So now when we talk about Shishuvihar, it's from age 0 till they turn 4, because 4 is when Balvihar starts. And each country varies on this, but most countries 4 is when Balvihar starts. So I say age 0, but my youngest student thus far has been 7 months. And I've had 3 such students. Of course now they're already older because they grow so quickly, but I've already had 3 such kids that have started at 7 months. So this is not an official terminology that we're using, but just for my convenience with my teachers, from age 0 till 2, we call them infants. Just out of convenience. And 3 and 4-year-olds, we call them toddlers. Now toddlers can do much more than infants. So the syllabus is different. So the syllabus for infants has to be catered because they don't have motor skills, right? They're not even sometimes able to point. And of course they don't have verbal skills. They can't say. And with the toddlers, they're actually able to do quite a bit. But of course they're still very small, so they will start crying, they will throw a tantrum, they will suddenly not want to, they'll get hungry, they'll get, all of that you're familiar with in children. So we have the infant section and then the toddler section. And so what I wanted to do here today was 1, introduce the concept to y'all, and 2, actually do a lesson plan with y'all in a bit of a fast forward mode. So, but I think the 2 most important things about Shishuvihar is the mothers have to be there. It doesn't work if the mother's not there because you can't handle the children. And secondly, the way the syllabus has been created is because I have found that the mothers don't know what to teach and how to teach it to the children. They may want to, and so you'll see so many moms Googling Gayatri Mantra and then playing. And it's usually that Anuradha Podwal songish kind of Gayatri Mantra. And so most of the kids will know that mantra when they come in. And then they'll think, and some of them have a little bit more exposure. And then, even on the Chinmaya Mission Balvihar website, we have that electronic puja. And so the mothers don't know how to do the puja, and so they'll Google. And then, they're wondering which one's the kumkum and which one's the chandan and which one's the... So the other very important reason that the mothers come in with the kids is so that the mom's actually learning. So it can be reinforced at home. And because the kids at that age parrot, if in the class I keep saying, son of Shiv and Parvati with a long nose and a big belly. So we created a few nursery rhymes. So the kids will keep doing this and hitting. They don't know the words yet. But if the mom hasn't come to the class, she doesn't know what they're doing. And I've had so many kids who keep hitting their nose, and then they look at their moms and they'll keep hitting their nose, and they want the mom to sing the song. So it's very, very important because they start loving things and then they're not able to on their own. So when the mom sings it at home, then of course everyone at home picks it up and slowly the whole family is singing it. So Shishuvihar has turned out to be this wonderful way of actually going into the families. Because the moms are there with the kids. Where in Balvihar, we don't want them there with the kids. And the other very, very important thing about Shishuvihar, so in Balvihar, we are not about discipline. Chinmaya Mission is about discipline. And in Shishuvihar, there's no discipline. There's discipline with the moms, but never with the kids. And in fact, as a teacher of Balvihar for so many years, I already thought I was patient. When I started teaching Shishuvihar, I realized I can still learn patience. Because if my voice goes higher than this in a Shishuvihar class, every kid in the room starts crying. It's disaster. Your voice cannot go louder than this in a Shishuvihar class. So, and the parents also have to be corrected sometimes or guided sometimes, but never louder than this. Because if that kid gets scared of you, you've lost them. So the Shishuvihar is actually done in a very different way than Bal Vihar for this reason. In Bal Vihar, when the kid comes in, when I teach Bal Vihar, then the kid knows on the very first day, I'm the boss, you better listen to me. And in Shishuvihar, no. In Shishuvihar, it's very maternal, very, very soft. Okay, so I had some pictures up, and notice that it's very interactive. Shishuvihar is very, very interactive. And it doesn't work if it's not interactive, because the kids, as you would understand, attention span would be less. Actually, they can absorb a lot, but they can't stay on one thing for a particularly long period of time. Their capacity is their capacity. So it's very, very interactive. There's lots of change. And so like I said, I'm going to do one lesson plan with you. So another thing I've mentioned to you all is, since it's so new, I think Shishuvihar is about 3 years old. Since it's so new, material is still being created. And I myself am finding ways to do things better every week, every month. And so since this particular lesson plan was done, I've already been able to improve how it's done. But this is a good lesson plan to start with because it's fairly simple for today. So the round lesson plan. Can you all see it? Can't read it. Can we make it bigger? Page 1. Okay. So the way Bal Vihar works is if you take up Ramayana for the whole year. In Shishuvihar we don't do that because one, what will you do with them when you get to Bal Vihar then? And two, they learn differently. They don't need depth, they just need exposure. So we do Ram for 4 weeks, Hanuman for 4 weeks, Krishna for 4 weeks, Devi for 4 weeks, Shiva for 4 weeks, Vishnu for 4 weeks. And then when the year is over, you start again. But not the same lesson plan. So you kind of just like, it's a little bit like, I don't know if you'll ever have been taste testing. Like when you organize these parties, when you go to the restaurant to taste, you don't eat the whole meal. You just taste this dish. Nice dish, we'll have it later at the party, approved. So in Shishuvihar, that's what they're doing. They're tasting Ramji, Shivji, they're just being introduced. They just being introduced. Okay, so like I said, nothing too elaborate, so we start with 3 mantras. And in fact, we start with the hello session. So to build up a rapport with someone so small, it takes a while. So the minute they walk in, you have to use their name. So can I use your name as an example? Radha. So when she walks in, I'll say, Hari Om Radha. And then I'll keep saying it till she's able to even look at me. By the 3rd or 4th week, she will be looking at me and she'll be saying Hari Om Radha. But so every kid has to be addressed. In Bal Vihar, you don't need to do that. But in Shishuvihar, the classes have to be kept a bit smaller. And every kid, so I would say Hari Om Sujita, Hari Om Radha, Hari Om Vishaka, Hari, as they come in. So of course the teacher has to be there first. And then I would walk with the child to the altar. And you have to show them how to do pranams because motor skills are not there. And if you see kids, their bum goes up in the air and their head goes down on the floor, which is very cute. But if you show them, and so I'm going to actually do it. So you have to show them that sit like this, come on, sit like this, okay, then like this. Okay, and then we have to put head on the floor. So you have to actually do it with them every week. Every week you do it with them, and every week, after about a year, you know. But motor skills don't come easily to them. She's nodding. So because the motor skills don't come easily to them, you have to do it every week. So you say hello to them, you bring them to the altar, and then we always sit in a circle because that intimacy is needed, and they're usually on their mom or next to their mom, and that's very good because if anything goes wrong, it's mom's responsibility. And if they need bathroom, it's mom's responsibility. So we chant the first 3 mantras, and what I've chosen is Sahana Bhavatu, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, and Guru Dev Chimayam Vyampi Atsa. 3 is about as much as they can take. And they don't know it, the mums hopefully will chant it. And we have to really encourage the mums to chant it. Now I don't know here what the culture is, but in some parts of Hong Kong, other parts no, but in some areas in Hong Kong, just like here, you've got Colaba and Bandra, and the mothers are very shy. They don't know it, they don't want to look bad, so they won't say it. And if the mums don't say it, kids are not going to learn it. So we have to really encourage mums to be saying, because the kids don't know how to talk, they can't be saying it. So the mums have to be saying it. So we start with the first 3 mantras, and then we have created some bhajans. So Kate Virama Kaho we've not created, of course it's there, but the reason this one works so well, in Balvihar also it works so well, because there's the actions. And it's a very simple tune, right? You're familiar with the bhajan. And then we've created a few nursery rhymes, and with Guruji's guidance, hopefully there will be a CD very soon. But we've not fine-tuned it. It's not as good as it can be. It's still work in progress, but in Hong Kong we're already using it. So this one is, to the tune of Old MacDonald had a farm. Yeah. I've forgotten the Western version now because I know that. So we've done, and it was on Ramayana. Sitaram went to the forest. Sitaram bol. They met a goat. They met a bird called Jatayu. Sitaram bol. With a flap here and a flap there. Here a flap, there a flap, everywhere a flap. Sitaram went to the forest. Sitaram bol. And so the Sitaram works very well because it's catchy. And it's easy for the mum to remember the tune because it's Old MacDonald tune. Now it's not ideal. Hopefully eventually we can be making up our own tune. But since I don't have music expertise, I'm using ready-made tunes. But in time, we will, and we are starting to create our own unique individual, but the idea being, one, it's something that's a kid-friendly tune. Very often our bhajans are not kid-friendly tunes. And sometimes they're beautiful, but the kid's not going to enjoy that. So we're using kid-friendly tunes so that they actually sing the Lord's name. And then the other reason I chose this bhajan or this rhyme to show y'all is, it's got animals and it's got action. So when you say they met a bird called Jatayu with a flap here, then of course, we're not just going to say it, then all the mums have to do it and the kids will copy. Because unless you do actions, you're going to lose them. And also with kids, when you do the actions, it reinforces to them. Because remember, they can't speak. They haven't got a command of language yet. but they can do the action. And so they feel they are participating. And so when they're participating, of course, now it's theirs. They've owned it. So we've got, they met a bird called Jatayu. Then the second para is, they met a bear called we missed one. They met a golden deer, so near, with a skip here and a hop. Of course, the deer wasn't a good thing in the story, but kids loved that. And we're not doing the whole Ramayana story with them. Later on, they'll get to know what the golden deer was all about. For now, only deer. And we're doing the skip. And so they know that Ramji met a deer. So that's all they know. They don't need to know more than that. Remember, we just tasted. Then they met a bear called Jambavan, with a bear hug here and a bear hug there. Don't try to hug them. Let them hug their moms. So every time you say with a bear hug here, they'll hug their moms. If they come up to you, then you engage. But if you go to them and try and hug them, they're too scared, they will cry. And then you will have to wait for 3 months before they'll come near you again. So you can do anything to do with hug and affection with between them and their mom. But they will do with a bear hug here and a bear hug there. Here a hug, there a hug, everywhere a hug. Sita Ram went to the forest. They met the monkeys that built the bridge. And this they love. Because then I'll say, who's a monkey? All the mothers will say, you a monkey. Because they love jumping around. So you see, it's a rhyme. It's a kid-friendly tune. They're singing the Lord's name. And it sticks, the tune sticks. But you've got animals, because at this age, exposure to animals, shapes, sounds, sizes, very, very important. So we're not only teaching them our culture, but in terms of what developmentally they need at that age, we're doing that as well. So they anyway intrigued with animals. So in the Ramayana, if I'm going to take something, I'm going to take the different animals. And Ramji also. So in fact, I'll sing this rhyme with them, and then I'll say, who's Rama's friend? And usually you'll have a lot of props. So there is a video clip of that, but I'll just show you all what I'll do. So I'll have a deer with me, and I'll say, who's Rama's friend? And so the moms will say, the deer is Mama's friend. And I'll have a soft toy of a monkey, which you can get anywhere. Or you could just even have a photocopy of a monkey. Who's Rama's friends? The monkeys are Rama's friend. And who's Rama's friend? Jambavan's Rama's friend. And then who's Rama's friend? And then Jatayu is Rama's friend. And I'll say, who else is Rama's friend? Are you Rama's friend? So then you bring it back to. So they love animals, so you've got their interest, they're learning, they enjoy, and then it comes back to them. Otherwise it's love Ram. You have to have devotion. Be like Ram. Won't work. It doesn't work with us. So it's not going to work with them. So the idea is, in this story already there's so much there that they already will be able to